Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Tonight, we turn our attention to a region that has remained a flashpoint in national conversations, and that's Nigeria's northwest. From rampant banditry to mass abductions and the displacement of thousands, communities across states like Zamfara, Katsina, and Sokoto are facing an escalating crisis. As stakeholders search for lasting solutions, we ask, what real efforts are being made to restore peace and stability to the northwest? Joining me tonight is Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, security expert, politician, executive director, patriot for advancement of peace and social development. Thank you so much for joining us on the program, Dr. Shinkafi. Good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So
good to hear from you.
Good to see you again. Thank you very much for joining us. So I want us to start off this conversation with this ongoing issue. There have been growing international concerns and reports alleging a Christian genocide in Nigeria, particularly in the Middle Belt and parts of the north. You're aware that recently the Christian Association of Nigeria accused the presidency of twisting facts and misrepresenting its position on the ongoing killings of Christians across the country. Khan is insisting that what is happening in several parts of northern Nigeria and the Middle Belt amounts to a Christian genocide. What is your assessment of these claims? Do you believe these allegations are exaggerated, underreported, or accurate? Where do you stand?
That's the report. I was surprised to hear such reports because looking at the overspilling of insecurity across the northern region, where it has more dominant population of Muslims, most especially in the northwest and the northeast. If you're looking at what is happening in the northeast, Boko Haram and ISWAP are not killing Christians precisely. They kill anybody they find on their way. Boko Haram, if they are going to commit their nefarious activities at ISWAP, cannot identify a Christian and Muslim petful. So, and again, in the northwest, where Muslims is a dominantly Muslim, historically, going by the Usman Danfodio, the Islamic Caliphate, over 700 years, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, and partly part of even Katsina State, Kaduna State, are predominantly Muslim and even the inhabitants. In the northwest, where you can have a higher population of Christians, is in southern Kaduna. In Zamfara State, the percentage of Christian and Sokoto State, even in Kebbi State, are not up to 2% of the total population density, including Katsina State. So, if you look at how people are being adopted, mercilessly killed, kidnapped for ransom in the northwest, so the report is just fabricated to cause serious disharmony between Christian and Muslim in the northern Nigeria, even in the Nigeria at large. The Boko Haram and the armed bandit, Iswa, Mahmudawa, all these armed bandit and terrorists and insurgents group are killing Muslims. Muslims are being killed while performing morning prayer in Katsina State. In Mantau, more than 80 people were killed, several were injured, a lot of people were adopted, including children and women, and they are Muslims. In Zamfara State, in Sape local government, last September to October, more than 5 mosques were attacked where people are observing morning prayers. Are they doing church service? The answer is no. They are performing morning prayer, which is one of the obligatory prayer in the 5 daily prayer where Muslims are being observed. So this report, they are trying to exaggerate or trying to cause disharmony between the Muslim and Christian. Right. So because they see politics, because they see election is ahead, so they are using it to publicize it ahead of 2027 to cause havoc or disharmony or to cause chaos, religious crisis in this region or in Nigeria at large.
All right, Dr. Shinkafi.
So it should be disregarded and nobody should take this serious.
Yes. So this is your field, so I'd like you to help us with some clarity. Because, Khan says these are not isolated crimes, but a continuing pattern of violence that has persisted for years without justice or closure. What distinguishes genocide from other forms of mass violence? And does that situation meet that threshold?
Can you come back again, please?
All right. Khan says these are not isolated crimes, but a continuing pattern of violence that has persisted for years without justice or closure. So I want you to help us with some clarity. What distinguishes genocide from other forms of mass violence? And, does that situation meet that threshold?
Yeah, you see, the issue of genocide in Nigeria, you see, this is the issue of insecurity and other security challenges. Many parts of this country have a different security challenge. It has different dimension. The issue of Boko Haram, insurgency and terrorism has been in the Northeast for over 1.5 decades, since 2007, even 2002. The Boko Haram started to germinate and there was no political will to curtail the situation. It has gone out of hand. So, and the issue of also looking at the genocide and mass killings, most especially in the Northwest and even part of North Central. When this issue of banditry started, it started from herders and farmers clashes, cattle rustling, kidnapping for ransom, extortion, killings, and even slavery by this heartless armed bandit. So there should be a total commitment, political will, on the part of the federal government, on the part of state government, on the part of local government, even on the part of locals, to curtail the situation. But it has been allowed to overspill, and it has escalated all across the Northwest, Northeast, North Central. Not even precisely only in the northern Nigeria, even in the western part of the country, in the eastern part of the country, in the south, they have their peculiar or different type of security challenges, from kidnapping, militia, oil theft, armed robbery, cultism, and even some are calling for separation. You understand? They were calling for independent state of Biafra. So these are some of the challenges. And the people are seeing now where elections around the corner in 2026 or 2027, they are trying to publicize issue and also sow a seed of discord among the Christian and Muslim in this country. Right. So the government have to sit up and make sure that it will curtail the situation before it has gone out of hand. It
gets out of hand, right. But from your experience as a security expert, Dr. Shinkafi, what has been the most misunderstood aspect of the Nigerian security crisis? Also, how would you, describe the current state of insecurity in the Northwest as the situation improved, especially in Zamfara State?
Yeah, you see the issue of insecurity. It is connected to three things: politics, governance, and security are deeply interconnected. So if it has not been properly taken care of, there must be a persistent and galloping rise of insecurity in the Northwest, especially in Zamfara. Issue of corruption, weak institutional failure, weak judicial system, corruption, poverty, educational decay in the system, bad governance, smuggling of smaller and lighter arms into the land border, drug addiction, activities of informant. So these are some of the root cause of this insecurity. And the president of the security, the action agencies in Zamfara State, the military personnel and other sister agencies are understaffed, under-equipped, under-motivated, and under-appreciated. If you look at the presence of the security in Zamfara State, and looking at the size of the armed bandit across the 14 local government, all these 14 local government, these armed bandit kingpins have their catchment area. In Shinkafi, the head of the armed bandit kingpin is Bello Turji. In Ansado side, you have Goska, you have Dankaremi. In Saipe, you have Ademo Aleru. In Bukuyu, all of them have their catchment area. And they have their foot soldiers. So if you put approximately the total number of these armed bandits are not more than 30,000. But if there's a serious political will and the commitment on the part of the government, it can apply total kinetic approach by using military offensive to flush out this armed bandit once and for all. And also you can apply another methodology, applying non-kinetic approach, but that should be a disarming, de-radicalization, and reintegration and rehabilitation of this criminal armed bandit. So these are some of the the challenges. And the security agencies, there is no proper intelligence security gathering or security intelligence sharing among the security agencies. Some of the secret police, that's DSS and CIB, can get an intelligence report and share this report to the action agencies, and the action agency will not act within the possible time.
All right then.
And the armed bandit will go and launch their attacks.
All right. All right, Dr. Shinkafi, you've mentioned about 8 different root causes of banditry in Zamfara State. I'd like to take you up on 2. You talked about weak institution and corruption. But before I take you up on those 2 root causes, first, because you have talked about reintegration of some of those criminals, what are your thoughts on granting amnesty to bandits who lay down arms? How can we ensure accountability and justice for victims?
Yeah, you see, the issue of amnesty to bandit or peace dialogue with the bandit, I am not apostle of such actions, and I can never be in position to support such action by any level of government, because these armed bandits, they are not sincere, they are not reliable, they are not trustworthy, and they don't keep to any promise or any dialogue you enter with them. You see, the most disheartening thing and the most annoying thing, when you say you are going into non-kinetic approach methodology in solving this situation, there should be a total disarmament. And this armed bandit will go on this with the peace dialogue with the locals or the local government in a state like Katsina State. You will see them with the heavily sophisticated arms, and they are not ready to surrender. When you leave these arms in the hand of armed bandit, a criminal who has been collecting ransom of 100 million, 200 million, 50 million, 20 million, and you just say one day you want him to stop just in the period of activity, the answer is no. So the issue of the granting amnesty to them does not even arise. Because what amnesty are you going to grant to them? when they are not ready to also lay their arms. If they are ready to lay their arms, and also the state government or the federal government can now give them pardon, because there was nothing the local community have done to this Fulani. Fulani and Hausa have been intermarriage, who have been staying for over 700 years. Because Usman Danfodio, Bini Fodio, is a Fulani. And he migrated from Degel to the Al-Alawa in the Gobri kingdom for over 700 years. And they were living harmoniously with the Fulani and Hausa. So you cannot even identify a Fulani and Hausa man. An average Nigeria in the southern part of the country will call a Hausa man Hausa Fulani. But they are different. You understand?
All right then.
The Fulani, the Hausa are more in size of population than Fulani. But the Fulani are more dominantly in power since the independence.
All right. I get that, but sadly we're out of time. But it's important that I ask you this question before I let you go, Dr. Shinkafi. Would you insist, or would you say that, you know, we must hold our governors accountable for this unrelenting security challenges in their states? And I'm asking because, you know, on this program, I've heard a lot. You know, the governors tell me, oh, we do not have control of or over the security command. The control comes from Abuja and must be decentralized for us to really take charge. And that's why we're clamoring for the creation of state police. After that, if nothing changes, hold us accountable. On the other hand, you know, I've listened to conversations, especially security experts like yourself, who say that is a lazy approach. Yes, they are not constitutionally empowered to command the security forces, but they do have security votes and can do a lot more. Where do you stand, sir?
Yeah, you see, in accordance with Section 14, subsection 2B, the primary responsibility of every government is to provide security and welfare of its people. But the state governors are called chief security officers of their state, but it's a ceremonial office created by the Constitution. The security apparatus of the country is totally under the office of Mr. President, who is the Commander-in-Chief Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. President was the only one who is mandated with the powers in accordance with the Nigerian Constitution to give approval to the service chief to deploy security to fight insurgency in the state. So the governors, their hands are tied. They can only be chief logistic officers. They are being given security votes. But some of these governments have been using this security board to support the logistic operation of this security in their various state. Some of these governors are using this money as a Conti 5 for personal enrichment. But some are using it to buy vehicles, operational vehicles. Let's say the governor of Zamfara State. Just few days ago, he bought armor personal carrier vehicle. He bought many operational vehicles for security agencies. He created a community protection guard to complement the effort of the security in the federal government. So some of them have been doing well, but they need to do more.
All right.
Because some of the governors abandon their state and take Abuja as their second home. So they should go back to their operational base and continue to collaborate with the federal government to fight this insecurity. And on the issue of the state police, some of the governors cannot even pay salaries of their staffs. How can they manage state police?
All right, that's $1 billion. That's $1 billion question,
even to use the state police for election campaign.
That's $1 billion question. Thank you so much for joining me on the program, and thank you so much for your perspectives tonight. Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, security expert, politician, executive director, patriot for advancement of peace and social development. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Please have a great evening.
Thank you for having me. Have a great night.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TV Studios. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke, using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I am Olajumoke Olatiji. Good night, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow.